Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and today I'm gonna play Dungeon Universalis. Now, we're still in this campaign, so the goal was to go to a bandit's lair, but on our way there we had to travel through the woods, and we were attacked by a pack of wolves. And that didn't went too well. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. So I managed to survive without too many wounds and damage, but I didn't make it in time to get through the wood. So I didn't reach the goal of the mission, and therefore I didn't get any experience points or any loot or anything. So I just went through this adventure basically for nothing except for the fun. So that wasn't too great. I guess I have the option after this adventure, before I start the new mission, to use my healing herbs here, because she is badly damaged. It's not too bad. I mean, she lost half her life points, right? So I can use that. I'm pretty sure I can. And I recover 1d3 life points. Okay, that's perfect. She lost 2 life points, so that means she's now fit again. Okay, so a couple of rules issues that I didn't, that is not clear to me. So the nature of these travel events, I find that a little bit tricky because, okay, on the one hand it says some of the cards offer the possibility of playing an epic event. In other words, they allow a simple quest to be played. Okay, so here it seems pretty clear that it's a quest. Okay, fine. That seems a little weird because here it says only one quest may be played during a campaign turn. So that would imply that when you don't play the event, but you just, or you just, so if you just resolve the card effect, which means we could have rolled a speed test and then applied the result, that would obviously not have been a quest, and therefore we could have done the main quest in that week. But if we resolve the event by playing it as an epic event, which is by thematically the same thing, we just play it out, then it takes us a week longer. I find that a little questionable. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But I'm going to follow that rule for now. I'm going to see the epic event as a quest, and I can only play a single quest per week. So therefore, I guess we're now in week 15, because we started in week 13. And no, that's not, yeah, no, it's true actually. We started in week 13, so now we're in week 15. Okay, this is also of relevance because of things like this. For example, the Experienced Wizard, where it says you can use this skill only once per game. I mean, that is in general a problem. The term game is not defined anywhere. I guess they mean quest, but does that also apply to the events? I think it does. So when I say, okay, I see the epic events as a quest, for me that means now I can use that thing again in the next quest. And I also have I forgot about that. The sorcerer has the herbalist skill, which means she's an expert in herbs and knows how to create potions and, what? Ointments. I have no idea what that means. Characters start each quest with a potion of his choice at no cost. So probably I could have taken 2 potions for the earlier quests. I'm not going to do that anymore, but I will take an additional potion for this quest now, because that's what the card says. So I guess I can take some herbs from the woods and mix up another potion. So yeah, let's see what we can find. Mana potions and poisons are not included. So I've chosen a dexterity potion and I gave that to him. Yeah. So that gives +1 to fighting abilities, agility, and +2 to dexterity during this turn and the next 2 ones. Okay, so I guess I'm ready to start now, finally, our first real dungeon event. One more thing that I really also don't get, and it's these dark player markers on the campaign map. So there are a couple of questions which I don't think they are answered in the rulebook. At least I couldn't find it. So if someone has an idea here, so for example, because I failed the mission now, it means that I could spawn another dark player marker on the map. So that would mean that there would be 2 markers now in this starting land of the dark player. So I don't know. I mean, is that even possible? Can there 2 markers, for example, in the same territory? And when they move into my territory, would that mean that I have to draw 2 of these specific danger cards? I don't know how that actually works, especially with the artificial player. I find it a little bit confusing. Also, what happens if I resolve such a danger card? Are then these dark player markers removed? If you got any answers for me here, that would be quite helpful. Here's another thing now. In general, I'm planning to use the app during the campaign. Now, the app, what the app does is it simply tells you basically which room tile you have to place when you open a door, and where where your main enemy is, and I think also what type of creature your main enemy is. And this is it. So it's not like other apps that tell you everything exactly in detail, and I think it also tells you actually where the furniture is. But you know, it doesn't tell you, I don't know, where traps are. It doesn't tell you where the creatures spawn, not the main creatures, but the others. It doesn't tell you what type of creatures spawn and so on. This is all done by the artificial player, which we see here. So we have these 3 decks of cards. So the app is pretty limited, which is good, I think. I'm not a big fan of app games, but if you want an exploration experience here and you don't want to use a random map generator, then the app is very helpful. And so if you want to play a campaign, basically, then the app is cool. But of course you could play the campaign without the app, but then you don't have that exploration factor anymore, because you can simply see the layout of the map. However, so the thing is, I just want to talk a little about the replayability of a quest here, because what I did is I already played the second quest. So the quest that we're going to play now, I already did that in preparation for this whole playthrough as kind of a trainings quest. So I basically know now the map, where the evil players are, where the goal is, and all that stuff. But I still want some exploration experience. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do here, and I'm going to spoil a little bit this thing for you. So I don't know if you want to avoid that. Maybe you should go, I don't know, 5 minutes ahead or something. But I just want to explain to you what my plan is here. So the thing is, I know that this is the layout of the map. And I can tell you, because I want you to understand how this works, how this map works, and I want you to understand how I try to still get some kind of exploration feeling out of this. Okay, we have a ground floor here, and we have an upper floor up here. These are connected by a staircase here, and also this room here, which basically, so the staircase starts here and then goes up here, and then here in this upper floor here there are 2 rooms. You go to the first one, and then in the second room, a large room, there is our boss that we're gonna have to kill. Okay, fine. So the thing is, you enter here, and then you enter this first room here, and the map works in a way that you have a choice here. So you can either move this way here, which leads you in this large room, and that is basically the way you want to go. Or you can enter this door, which leads you in a small room and eventually in a dead end. So when you play with the app, you don't know which way to go here. So what I'm going to do here is, when I enter this room and open one of these 2 doors, I'm going to roll a die. And on a 50% chance, I will actually manage to find that large room. And that large room is the one which, as we already said, leads eventually to our main boss. And the large room is also a room where you will always find enemy creatures. So a large room is always a harder, is always more dangerous. So that's why it is before this upper floor, I guess. So, okay, fine. So if I roll the right 50%, we go immediately to the boss and the other doors. So we basically have this map here. However, if I should roll the wrong numbers, I'm going to be in this room here. And so the thing is, because I know how the map looks, I would not check this door because I know it's a dead end and there's not much in there to find. However, I'm not going to do it that way. If I go here then, I'm going to roll again on a 50% chance. And if I roll the right numbers, I'm going to find the large room behind this door. And then from here, we're going to go into the upper floor. And that would mean then, in this scenario, that the bad room would be simply on the other door, if you understand what I mean. So that means I don't know what is behind all these doors, except once I've entered the large room. But I would have done that anyway, because you basically continue moving, right? So that's my plan. I hope that wasn't too confusing, but I just wanted to explain that to you, how you can still create an exploration feeling once you have explored the quest for the first time. So it is still possible, but obviously it's not quite as cool anymore. So let's read the introduction. Deep inside the forests of Rohuan, there is such a big manor that it could look like a small fort. At one end, a tower has been erected with masonry ashlars, and the windows of the ground floor of the building have been blinded with planks. That is said to be the den of Rourke, a veteran mercenary who abandoned his profession to carve out a career outside the law. He is followed by a group of faithful ones who glorify his strength and determination. Some were companions in the trade. Others have been chosen from among the best thieves and murderers in the region. Together they form a small clan of outlaws that often descend south to devastate the region of Vernac. Okay, so the goal is knock out Borg. Okay, nice. So let's see. For this we have to create an artificial player's deck, and how to do that is written here on the setup card. It's really well done. You basically have 3 decks, and you have here a deck of power cards. We're going to get into this a little more. And in addition to this, you have here 2 reinforcement cards, because we have 3 heroes. And they're shuffled in here somehow. And it's a deck of 6 times the hero's number, so 18 cards, so it's 20 cards. Then we got this deck here. There are more power cards in the game, by the way, so you don't use all of them during a quest. This here is an obstacle deck, also 18 obstacles, plus 1 thief card. That's an interesting question. Does that mean 1 thief and 1 ambush, or does that mean 2 overall? I don't know. We might need another thief, maybe. I guess we're going to need another thief. I'm not sure. I'm going to go with 2 thieves and 2 ambush cards. And yeah, but here the scenario said we had to remove a lot of the obstacles. So basically about half of the obstacles or so were actually removed. And in addition to that, a locked door obstacle is already put aside for now, as if it would have been played. And we're going to get to this a little later. And then the last thing is a creature deck. Now you can see here there are only as many cards as value points divided by 10. Now because my heroes only have 30 value points, we actually only have 3 creature, or not creature, but encounter cards. That's what it's called. Okay, so let's finally get this started. This is the first room. That's all we know. We entered here through this door, and yeah, there we are. So, wait a minute, I need the card with the achievement points. So here we go. So now we play for the first time against a real artificial dark player. During these skirmish missions that we had until now, we also had something like that, but it worked very, very simple, and it was just basically we had limited time, and we simply had rules how to use the creatures. But this time there's much more going on. So technically we have now unlimited time to do the mission. If we kill Rock at the end, we fulfilled the mission, and we're going to get an experience point for that. However, for every turn that it takes us till we enter the main room is the room where the boss is. So for every turn that it takes us, the dark player will get 1 achievement point. And he'll also get achievement points for every fortune we spend, and if he knocks heroes out. We get achievement points for all kinds of other things. And at the end of the game, or at the end of the scenario, who has the most achievement points wins. So it could be possible that we accomplish the mission, but the dark player would have still beaten us, which is not a big deal in this case. If we win, though, we would get an additional experience points. So we would, I mean, every hero would get 1 additional experience point. So we simply double the experience points, which is pretty awesome. So we want to try to do that. And to do that, you also kind of want to try to be a little faster and maybe take a risk here and there. I don't know if I want to do that at the beginning, but I'm considering it because, as I said, for every turn it takes us before we enter the main room, the dark player gets an experience point or an achievement point. So the first one is this. And now we activate our guys. And yeah, now we can see a lot of new rules coming up. So we are now inside here. And if we simply would go ahead and move, we might run into a trap. Traps can be activated if this is indicated on the scenario, which is not the case. If we would enter a specific space or something, then a trap would be activated. Trap could be activated by opening doors and so on. But in addition, a trap could be activated if we leave the safe zone. So a safe zone is basically the 2 squares adjacent to where the character starts his activation or adjacent of any allied characters. So in this case, basically, it's already a little tricky because I'm not sure how that wall influences the safe zone. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to have a safe zone here simply because we cannot see across that wall. So I would say the safe zone is basically this room until here, and technically here could be already the first traps because, you know, it's harder to, we cannot kind of, I don't know, it's, you know, get a feeling about what's going on around us, and this is all a little bit in the dark maybe, so it's, you know, you don't know what's going on there. In this, so therefore we have to be a little more careful here, and I'm going to start activating this guy here. So I'm going to move 1 space here, and this is a staircase. So if you go up a staircase, it will take you 2 spaces, 2 movement points to go there. And you can only enter a staircase from the front, so not from here. So I got to go here, that's the second one, and I'm still in the safe zone of this lady here. And now I'm going to move up, and I'm still in the safe zone of this lady. So that means now I've spent, now actually, 1, 2, 3, 4 movement points. And that's it. I'm going to stay there because I don't want to go here, because then I might run into a trap. So now it's I'm going to use her. And so I'm going to move here 1, 2, and now we have a new safe zone which goes actually right all the way here. So now I'm going to move 3. Let me see, I can also move 5 spaces. So, you know, I think I actually want to run. So I'm going to roll 2 dice to check if I'm going to blunder. That's not the case. So that means I could now move up to 10 spaces. So I moved 1, 2, and I'm going to run upstairs 3, 4. That makes no sense, right? I was here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because you can move across allied characters, but that will cost you an additional point. And then I'm here 6, and I can move up to here because this is still the safe zone of this guy. So now I'm here and I'm fine. Okay, great. And now last it's her, And let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, seems I also have to run to make it through the room here. I was hoping to, yeah, but I guess I have to do that. Okay, anyway, fine. I was hoping to get to the door and then opening it immediately, but that didn't work. So, okay, this way we moved through the room and yeah, nothing happened. It's as simple as that. So now the next turn starts and this goes up again, and now we can activate again. And so I guess I'm going to move with this guy now. 2 spaces, just get a little closer to the others. I'm not going to do anything with her. And now I'm going to try to open this door with her. Oh, there's this owl. Okay, let's place the owl back here. It's not that important. I mean, yeah, whatever. Sorry for that. I forgot the owl. So the owl is, what might be interesting is that the owl is basically 2 spaces away from me, so I get the +1 perception, which is an important thing. Okay, so now I'm going to try to open the door. And there could be a trap, or the door could be locked, because this is already written here. Or this already is placed here. So this says here, the card wasn't revealed while trying to open a door. Keep it face up without paying its cost. It will be activated the next time the heroes attempt to open a door, and the scenario die gives a result of this here. Okay, so in this case, if we would roll this, then the door would be locked. Okay, so the card mentioned a scenario die, and this is this one here. So now we roll this. If we roll this, then the door will be locked, as we've already seen. If we roll this, it's going to be an obstacle. And if we roll this, nothing happens. So the thing is, there are specific situations in this game when you have to roll this die. And you basically have to learn when that is the case. And one of them is when you want to open a door, and another one is when you leave the safety zone. So yeah, when you enter the first space outside a safety zone, you also have to roll a die. And in this case, if we would have rolled that, we would have also met a trap. But we didn't do that. So now the first time a situation arose where we had to roll the scenario die is when we try to open the door. So let's do it. Okay, great. The door is locked right away. Yeah, I guess you can see it. So, okay, so what do we do to open that door? It says it can be opened stealthily by passing a dexterity test. Choose one character. Only one attempt is allowed. If the test is passed, the door will be opened. Otherwise, it can only be broken. The door has a vitality 5, armor 5. Okay. So let's see. I could now drink the dexterity potion. And you know what? I think I'm going to... I don't know if I want to do that. Maybe I should. You know, I think I don't want to do that now because it doesn't seem terribly important. I can... If there's another trap somewhere, maybe it's more important to kind of avoid that trap. The locked door is not so hard. So she will actually try to do it. She will try to open the door, and she simply tries now to roll a 10 because she has no dexterity, or well, nothing here. So she's going to roll a 10 to do it. Okay, well that didn't work out too well. So therefore the door is locked and we cannot open it, so we have to break it somehow. Okay, so let's see how to open this door. Now the thing is, And that was a little stupid. First of all, I'm not sure if she can now try to break the door, or if she already used her action when she tried to open the door with a test. Yeah, great. I don't know that. Whatever. I'm not gonna allow her to do it, I guess. I don't know. The thing is, I don't want to do it. I wanna let her be helped by the dwarf and maybe also the other lady. And the thing is now, when we want to break this door, we have to kind of smash our weapons against it, and that makes a noise. So every turn we do that, this means that creatures, or during our next encounter, the creatures will have a +1 initiative roll. And that's pretty bad if we take long for this, because initiative is important in this game. So therefore, what I want to do is, I want to try to break that door in one turn, which means I'm not going to start now and then in the next turn activate the dwarf again, for example. So because that would have taken us simply longer. I could try it with these two, of course, and start this turn. Maybe I could do it, but the question is then, what about her? Can she do this in this turn or not? I have no idea. I gotta check that. Maybe on BGG. We'll find out. It seems actually I found something pretty simple here. Open unexplored doors. If cannot be opened, the action will not count as spent. Okay, so now I guess we can simply try to break the door. Opening locked doors, on the other hand, it's tricky. It says opening locked doors, test to open it. So I guess it actually was an action then again. And then we have this one here, opening chests, or so breaking doors, chests. Okay. Okay, so I guess trying to open the locked door was actually the action. I did not make it, so now we're going to have to attack the door. Now, another issue here is I'm not totally sure about it, but I think you can attack the door even if you're not right in front of it. You just cannot try to open it. I don't know, you cannot not use the handle or something. This is very fiddly stuff now. So I'm gonna allow, if they stand here or here, they can also attack the door, but you can only open it if you're right in front of it in a stealthy way, because that's what the rules clearly say. Okay, so therefore I'm not going to do anything this turn. We simply go into the next turn, and now we're going to try to smash the door. And I think I'm going to start with the dwarf. And you don't have to do a roll, you automatically hit. So the only question is, will we be successful with the will we do enough damage? So it has an armor of 5 and 5 life points. So that means we can roll now, let me see, 5 dice. Okay, so we did the first hit. That was great. So that's 1 hit to the door. And now it's her, and she will exchange her weapon as a quick action, grab the mace, and then she can roll. Oh boy, she only has a strength of 3. So, okay, that is 1 damaged again. And the staff is not very useful either. So she uses the staff, and well, she's got a 3, but the door's got a +1, so we need a 6 to do any damage here, and we don't have that. So that wasn't great at all. And this is now the first noise marker we have to place here. So this is not looking good. This is it really sucks. So that's pretty bad. This guy just moves on. Maybe we should have used the dexterity potion to open that door, but now it's too late. Let's try again with the axe. Okay, awesome. Look at that roll. Fantastic. So the door is finally broken. And there you go. But we had to place 2 noise markers here because it took us 2 rounds to do that. Okay, so now here, okay, that's where we are, and we entered this room here. And you can see we got 2 doors, one here, and here we have barrels and boxes. Now, when you reveal a new section, what we just did there, you always have to roll the scenario die again. And if you roll this symbol, that means there's going to be enemies in this section. The other symbols have no effect. And that card is now discarded, by the way. And it goes underneath here, I guess. So, because we made all that noise here and we broke a door, when the first roll is not an encounter, we have to roll again. Because there was so much noise, so it is more likely that someone entered this room to check what's actually going on there. So let's see. Okay, we were lucky here. Nobody. And again. And that is also not the symbol that is dangerous. So we were lucky. There's nobody in this room. Okay, so because the dwarf started this turn, when he broke the door, that means that now the others still have their actions. And you know, I think I'm gonna take a risk now. And because we're already quite behind here, this was a pretty crappy move. So first of all, I'm actually thinking about not searching the barrels because that will cost us time, and we can still do that on our way back. Because once we found the main room, the dark player will not count anymore. He will simply not count these. He will not get points when we spend a turn. So that is a problem that I have with this game, to be honest. You can do the searching on your way back, and you can simply ignore all that stuff until you come to the main room. So I don't know if this is something I like, and maybe actually you're gonna have to house rule this. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll find out. So I don't know. I don't know if I actually want to take this risk, because if I open the door, there's a good chance that we might find creatures, and then the dwarf is pretty far away and he will not be able to help us. So maybe I actually don't want to do it this turn. That seems a little too risky. So you know what? Actually, I'm going to move down here. So 1. Let's place it like this. This looks a little better. Okay, so we go through here 1, 2 spaces right there, and I'm still in my safe zone because I started the activation here, and now I'm actually going to search these here. This is also an action. So we're going to check here in the furniture deck and find the barrels and boxes. Okay, there they are. There are several barrels and boxes in the room. Whoever searches them must roll 2d6. And by the way, you can only search an object once per quest. Okay, that's a 6. Nothing interesting is found. Okay. And now she can also move, and she's going to simply move 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, maybe 5. Yeah, I think she's going to go here. She's still in the safety zone now of her, so yeah, there's no problems here. And I think, yeah, that's fine. We're at the end of this turn. So we go into the next turn, and now I guess I want to move with this guy. 1, 2, 3, and yeah, I want to open with her. 1, 2. I want to open with her the door. So now again, we're going to have to roll this die and see if an obstacle symbol appears. By the way, I didn't mention that. Now there are these 3 symbols, and every one of them is twice on that die. So let's see. Okay, that is not an obstacle symbol, so the door simply opens. And now what's happening is that at that point, we're going to check which room we enter. Now, obviously, usually you simply look now in the campaign book, but because I already know the campaign, we follow now my other rules. Now, on a 1 to 3, we will enter the large room, which will be eventually the way to the main room. Okay, so we were lucky here. And there was, the first time it went basically the same way, just that the large room was here. So there was a 50-50 chance. So in this case, I'm going to place the large room there. Okay, so we opened this, and this is now the room. And I just flipped this, I just turned this around and removed the room where we came from. So we entered from here. This is the door. We entered from here into the room. There are the boxes. So it was like this before. And now we went through this door, and now we have here the large room. And so you don't have the whole dungeon before you usually in this game. They even tell you to remove the tiles when you leave them. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, so now we're entering here, and we're going to roll again the scenario die because we revealed a new section. So we got to roll the scenario die if a monster appears, which will happen if we roll this symbol here. Okay, so we were lucky here, no monster, but because it is a large room, in addition to the scenario die, we will actually draw an encounter card anyway. So if we would have rolled this thing, there would have been the monsters in there equal to 2 encounter cards. But now it's just 1, so I'm kind of lucky here. So that is enemy spotted. Okay, so the dark player will play this card. And now we see this here. Now this is the track of reserve points that the dark player has. The dark player has a number of reserve points equal to the value points of the heroes. And I think we already talked about the value points a little bit. So at the beginning, a hero has 10 value points. And as they improve, as they get more skills, as they improve their abilities, they will also gain value points. And that again allows the dark player to get more reserve points, and therefore he can play more danger cards. So this card here, you can see here, that card will cost him 6 reserve points. So that brings, oh, and by the way, he had to pay 5 reserve points for the leader of the scenario in advance. So just to make sure that then when the leader comes, he will not be in the position that he couldn't afford him. So in this case, he already paid the 5 points in advance, so he has now 25 points left. And now he's got to pay the 6 points for the creature, so he's at 19. Bothers me a little bit that there is no zero. You know, if there's a 20, you've got to remove that thing. I don't know, not a big deal, but I would have liked that. So the card says enemy spotted. Use this card as soon as a character reveals a new unexplored section. That is for the dark player if he's not automated. So the dark player may spawn creatures worth up to 6 points. Not 2 cards of this kind may be used at the same section. Okay, unless it is a large one or a main room. But as I said, this applies only for a non-artificial dark player. The artificial dark player simply will play this card because it's a large room. And now what's going to happen is we're going to go here, and the bestiary cards, and you can see here the faction that we play against are the bandits. Now here we have here it says enemy spotted, ambush or reinforcements. So we have to roll on this table to find out which type of creatures exactly will attack us. And again, I want to show you that. Just a moment. Okay, I just wanted to show you this. We have here a bestiary, and you can see here all of the factions. For example, the wood elves here. They also have these kinds of tables here. So enemy spotted, ambush, reinforcements. And then you can see here the tables, and you're going to roll for that. And same thing here with the bird folk, and over here the troll kingdoms, a little bit smaller here, but still, you know, you can simply roll here, and then you see what you're going to have a different type or different combination of creatures depending on what type of card you draw. So the enemy spotted means it's one of these here. And so now let's roll here, and it says, and again you see how helpful these cards are, because we don't have to go to the bestiary to find that table. It's in here. Add +1 to the result of the revealed section if the revealed section is large, and +1 for every 30 value points the group of heroes has. So we got to add 2 to find our enemy. So let's hope it's not too bad. We want to roll low, basically. And that is awesome. So that is just a 3. That's very, very good. So these are, I think it is good to roll low, I guess. Yeah, probably is. So these are 2 human bandits with a broadsword and a shield, and 2 shooters with a crossbow and 1 warhound. I'm not sure if it's really that great, but we got to find out. That's a lot of enemies here. Okay, so first let's find some miniatures that we can use here. Okay, so we got these 5 creatures here, and we follow now the rules how to place creatures. And it says here, following a checkerboard pattern, and in large rooms, creatures should be positioned in such a way that they are not adjacent to each other. So they will leave a free row between them. Okay, so the first creature must be placed opposite to the hero who first visualized the section. 3 squares away from him. First, the creature with the lowest VP will be placed. In case of equality, this order will be observed. So first the creature with the lowest VP who has no ranged attacks, and then the long-range weapons. So the thing is that the Warhound actually has 2 value points, while the others only have 1 value point. Okay, so that means first this guy here with the broadsword is placed here, 3 spaces away from the hero who entered. And then from there we go to the right. So the next guy will be then, if I understand that right, here. And that is also one who has a sword. And then the next guy is placed here, and this is still a space. So he's placed here, and he has a crossbow. And then I guess we have one last guy and we place him here. Okay, cool. And now I'm not totally sure where this guy goes, and let me find out. 2, 3. That's a little tricky. Does he go maybe here? He might go here. I could imagine that he goes here, but I'm not positive about this. I mean, I guess it doesn't terribly matter that much. He's somewhere on this row and probably somewhere around here. It's a little tricky. Let me see. Okay, so actually it seems that he's placed here on the total left of the wall, and basically he starts a new row here, which then goes like this. So I think we start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when this row is filled, we start again here, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we start here, 9, 10, and so on. That's how I see it. Okay, cool. So we place the creatures, and now I want to check the furniture because there is something special with the fireplace here. Okay, so there's a fireplace in the room. Roll 1d6 on a result of 2. It is lit. Therefore, the section is illuminated. And whoever searches it can pick up a burning log and use it as a torch for the rest of the quest. If a character or creature is pushed into a square occupied by a lit fireplace, he takes 3 fire damage dice and won't be able to occupy that space. So let's see if the fire is lit or not. It is. Okay, otherwise all this would have happened in the dark, which probably would have been not too bad for us, because the human bandits might, they would have been lost in the dark, but of course not the Warhound. Okay, but it's light. Now we gotta do the initiative roll, and because we had to break the door here, these guys might be on alert now, so they got a +2 modifier, and the dog has a 1 perception anyway, so you can basically add 3 to his roll, and I have the owl, the sharp senses, and the hunter, so I also can add 3. So simply the high roller wins. So let's check it. Oops. Well, we don't know. That's not good. Okay, so he rolled a 9. I rolled a 5. That's pretty bad. And it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to use any fortune here. It's hard to beat the 9, and it's hard to go below the 5. That is a really bad start, because now everybody's gonna try to go after her probably, because she's the only one in line of sight. So kind of sucks here. Okay, well, I guess we We have to live with that. So let's see what happens first. So let's go for the activation here. Okay, so first the creatures that have ranged attacks will activate. That means that these two shooters, and I think it doesn't make a big difference who goes first. Okay, they are exactly the same. So I'm going to start with him. And he's going to use his crossbow. That's pretty bad, we know that. That's clearly a problem. So he rolls 2 dice, and I think there are no modifiers. He is in point blank range, and yeah, there's nothing special going on here, I guess. So I think we simply roll the die. And wait a minute, maybe he has some special skills or something. A dirty fighter, ambush. Oh boy, that would have given him +1 to the initiative too. Oh boy. Okay, that's important. If this group wins the initiative, characters with ambush may re-roll their first failed attack roll. I have a really bad feeling for this lady. I mean, she could actually get killed now by the 2 shooters. It's really not looking good. And there's no way to react to it's really bad. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. She will, or he has a 3 shooting value, so he needs a 7 to hit. I mean, that is possible, but not totally easy. Okay, so we were lucky with the first one, but he can re-roll that because of the ambush ability. Okay, that was a hit. And now he rolls for damage. That's really, really bad. He's got 4 dice. So, yeah, she's, oh boy. That's not looking good at all. She's got an armor of 3. No, that's not her. That's her. She's got the leather armor. So she's got an armor of 4. But because this is a crossbow, we're going to have to subtract 1 there. So she only has an armor of 3. So this is really looking bad. Okay, so she took 3 damage here. That means she's nearly dead. And it doesn't make a lot of sense to roll for fortune here. I mean, this is just a terrible position that she's in. Okay. Now the only good thing is that this guy used his crossbow, so he cannot use that again in the next turn. He's got to reload here. And I'm not totally sure if he's even going to do that. We'll find out about that. I got to check that. Now we come to the next shooter. Now he is in a little bit of a different position here because I mean, he is in line of sight, I guess, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces away. So that means he's got a -1 penalty, but this is pretty much it. Oh boy, that was a hit with a critical. So I could re-roll that. But, oh boy. Don't want to risk that. Don't want to. You know, it's tricky, but I think I want to re-roll this. Oh. Now he's got a combat value of 4. My combat value is also 4. Okay, I was lucky here, probably. This is... Okay, that is a tie. So let's see what that means. Oh boy. Okay, when tie, then the one with the highest agility. I got an agility of 4 because of the armor reduces my agility. Now this guy also has an agility of 4, so there is still a tie, which is good, I guess. Then the one using a shield, nobody. Then the defender. So in the end, it's a tie, and I win that tie because I am the defender. So I was super lucky here. Another problem was I didn't change the mace for the crossbow. If I would have done that, I could have used a defensive shot to kill this guy. But yeah, I didn't do that, so that was also a little bit stupid here. Okay, now the other two guys will attack. So I guess he moves here, and I wonder if he can reach me. I guess he can. So let's roll. He's a human bandit. He's got a 3. And okay. Does he have any special abilities? He's a dirty fighter. Now he's also got the ambush. Their first failed attack roll. So he can re-roll the roll too. That's not good at all. So let's see. Okay, I got an 8. Which is pretty good. So he's going to roll again. Okay, I managed to do that. I managed to win that battle against the first guy. And now the second guy also comes toward the door. Oh boy. And same situation here. That's not good. Now let's see. I've got, this is a 6, but I've got a combat value of 4. But because I got this crappy mace, I only have a 5, a 3. And he also has a 3. So therefore, right now, he might be in a winning position. Now I wonder, I think I want to re-roll that roll. Okay, that is much better. Now that is a 9. So now he's got a re-roll because of his ambush. Okay, that is just a 5. So therefore, I also managed to defend myself against this guy. I was very, very lucky here. In the end, only a single shot did really do me damage, but I'm still in an extremely weak position. If I take one more wound, I'm dead. So that is extremely bad. Okay, so I just checked one thing. So actually, I think these two guys should have had a -1 modifier for the attack because they were kind of attacking diagonally and there was a wall here. Now the wall is not a total obstacle. It doesn't completely cover me, but it's a -1 modifier. But okay, that doesn't change anything, I guess. So I'm still not sure how to get out of this shit here. And I wonder if I might have to do, if I want to disengage with these guys, I probably have to do an agility roll against all three of them, which is pretty heavy. But if I don't, I don't know what I can do to bring. This is a pretty bad position here. Let's face it. It really is a disaster, basically. So yeah, I think indeed my best option is to try to disengage here. So I'm gonna try to. Yeah, I'm gonna roll 2 dice first against the guy here on the top. I gotta pass an agility test, basically 3 times. So I got an agility of 5 because of this shitty leather armor, which reduces my agility, and so we need a 6. Oh boy, we didn't have that. So we got to re-roll. I can spend a fortune here. This time we did it. Now we got to try to disengage against the hound. And we did it again. And now we have to do the last guy here. And we did it again. Okay, so we can now move away. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm standing here, and now I'm gonna try with her. Yeah, I'm facing the right direction. With my sorceress, I'm gonna do a spell, the God Crush them. I'm gonna attack the dog. He is in line of sight. So let's see, I got a 5, so I'm gonna need a 5, which I have. So I'm gonna spend 2 mana here, and now I can spend 4 dice to the dog and the adjacent guys. That's the cool part. So I'm gonna start with the dog. Okay, that seems to be his end. Yeah, he's got an armor of 3, 4 life points. So that means the Warhound is dead. That is pretty good. Now that gives me 1 achievement point because this is a grunt creature that is indicated by this white symbol here. So I get a single achievement point for this. And by the way, another turn of the heroes started, so that means... Actually, the turn was started by the other guys, but... Yeah, that's a combat turn, exactly. And so this is a new turn here now, and that means the dungeon master will get another achievement point. And now we can roll the damage against this guy here. Now he's got an armor of... Oh, wait a minute here. He's got an armor of 3, but he also has a shield. And now let's see what he does. I think... He will use the shield to defend himself. The rules say they're going to use the shield pretty much every time they can do it. So let's see. Okay, so that wasn't super successful. Wait a minute, we have... Yeah, he's got an armor of 3. Well, that was actually quite good. So these were 3 damage. However, let me check the shield. What happens? He can shield himself against magic attacks if these are projectile attacks. So you can do it. Just a second. Okay, so what I forgot is actually when he uses his shield against a magic attack, it means that he's going to have 1 less damage die. So it's not the standard way of how you block shields. So he only takes 3 damage dice then. Okay, So that means he still takes 3 damage. That's pretty bad for him, but at least he survives. However, now he's going to roll if his shield breaks. And let me see. It breaks on a 5 or higher. So no, that's not the case. And now, but he takes 3 damage. We got to remember that. I gotta need some markers. And now the other guy will do exactly the same. He also has a shield. So that wasn't that great. So he takes only a single damage, but we also have to check for the breaking roll here. And his shield actually broke. Okay, so we must remember this right now. So we have basically this guy here. Oops, fuck. Where was that guy? I think he was standing here. So this guy has a shield, but he has 3 damage. On the other hand, there is this guy, and he has no more shield, so he has 1 damage. So I'm going to place this here just to remember that. I hope I did that right. I'm not absolutely positive about the breaking, but I think that's the way it works. Okay, so I mean, at least the dog is gone. That is something. And now the dwarf will move in here. And he's going to attack. Yeah. Oh, we got to check here if the thing backfires. And it didn't. So we were lucky here. There's a lot going on here. Okay, so yeah, I want to attack kind of through the door, I guess. Don't really want to do that. Yeah, probably. And so I get a -1 modifier here. And yeah, anyway. So let's see. So the bandit has a combat value of 3. I have a combat value of 4, but in the end it's also 3 because of the modifier here. I wonder if I should drink my dexterity potion. Might be the right time to do it. We're in a pretty bad shape here. On the other hand, I don't know. It's hard to tell. You know, I think I can do it. So I'm going to roll the dice. And that was pretty good. So I have managed to do a hit here. And I think we should be able to kill this guy now. So we can do, we can roll 5 dice as damage dice. But wait a minute, he will be able to block with his shield. So I gotta check that again. Okay, let me see. Actually, I'm not sure if I made that right when I checked what the breaking value of the shield. Here it's a 1 and 2, I guess. Okay, so I think, I'm not sure if I did that right actually last time, but I simply forgot. I think I said on a 5 or 6. In the end, that makes no difference. It's still 1 in a 3 chance. So I think that was okay. Okay, so the thing is, this is the value which is important. So on a 5 or 6, the shield will block the roll. So we got to do that. And because this time it's not you have one less die as an attacker. This only is the case during magical attacks. If they have a real melee fight, then we're going to simply roll the die, and on a 5 or 6 all the damage will be blocked. Okay, so no effect here. He manages to block everything. Not good. So, let's see now. We go now into the turn of the dark player, and I guess that's a new turn then, because the dark player starts these combat turns. And now I'm going to roll this. I forgot that last time. So I'm going to roll this twice and even draw 2 cards. So these are, this is now the chance for the dark player to get power cards. And that is not happening here. And it's also not happening here. So that would have given additional abilities to the dark player's creatures. Luckily this is not the case here. It's already looking pretty grim. Now again we will activate the ranged fighters first. And it says here, if it cannot shoot at a target or must reload, it will activate it last, relocating. So, and then it says here relocate, move up to 3 squares away from a priority target. Okay, so therefore we will reload our crossbows 1, 2, 3, and we move 3 spaces away. We might actually move here so that we get line of sight next turn, and that is not a good thing. And this guy moves also 1, 2, 3 spaces, and he reloads, and this is not good at all. Let's hope the dwarf will not get into too much trouble here. I mean, he's in a better shape, he's got a higher armor, so we'll find out about that. And now it's me again, and so the dwarf will I think this time I'm going to try to attack the guy without a shield. That might be a better option. Okay, so let's something weird. I thought okay. So let's do it. Yep. Damn it. Ah, shit. So we didn't make it. No success here. And oh, actually, shit! I forgot to activate these guys first. I'm sorry. So let's say that was the roll from this guy attacking me. So he had a success actually. So now we have to roll for damage, and these are, how much damage does he do with his stupid sword? 4. So we have to take 4 damage. No, wait a minute. The sword, yeah, that's also 4. So it's 4 damage dice here. Okay, that is 1 damage. The 6. Ah, boy. And now the other is attacking me. And he's got a -1 modifier now. Oh boy, that is not good. That is not good at all. So I wonder if I should re-roll this. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend a fortune. I got an 8. I'm going to force him to re-roll this. Okay, that is much, much better. So I'm really in a bad position here, but now I can fight back, and now I'm going to try what I said before. I'm going to try to attack this guy here. So I got a -1 modifier. And again, I didn't do it. Shit. He's got a 6. Should I spend my other fortune and then just say, okay, who cares? I mean, I'm pretty much done with this scenario. I have a feeling I cannot continue playing this. I don't know. On the other hand, maybe I can. Hard to tell. You know what? I think I'm going to risk it. So these guys, they seem to have line of sight. It's hard to tell. I mean, the center here is probably line. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they both have line of sight. So first of all, that was me. And these guys, they can't do anything because he's kind of stuck there. So they cannot really enter the fight or something. I mean, you know what she can do? She can do the war dance. And I think that is something I actually want to do. So she does the war dance, which will give the dwarf then an extra... or she could also use the arrow. Maybe that's even better. It's tricky if she... Yeah. Tough decision. But I think I'm not going to finish this quest. I'm just... If I spend now all these spells here, it's going to be extreme. Okay, I'm gonna play the arrows. What arrows spell? And that might protect him against these guys. So let's roll this. Okay, this is an 8, so this is a success. So therefore for 4 turns now, we have a +1 additional armor against these against arrows, non-magical projectiles. So that was her action. The dwarf failed his attack and she does nothing basically. And now it's again the dark player. So we have another turn and we roll the die. And look at that, this is a power card. Now he is allowed to draw an additional card and it says Fortitude. If no creatures are stunned, one stunned creature at the dark player's choice instantly loses his condition. Okay. If no creatures are stunned or knocked down, one dark player creature will get +2 to its strength during its next activation. Okay. Okay, so playing this card costs the dark player 1 fortune point. And now he's going to activate again his crossbow shooters here. So we start with him. And he's going to shoot at the dwarf because it's the only target. Oh boy, that is bad, man. That was a real great hit. It's a critical. So I think we're talking about 5 damage dice here. However, and one of the armor is subtracted, but we got a +1 against that. So that means we still have an armor of 5. Okay, so we take 1 damage. It's not good, but it's still okay, I guess. And now it's the other guy shooting. Okay, that is a 7. Now let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces away. So he has a modifier of -1. And I think that is not good enough. No, he only has a 3. What does the Watchman do? +2 to all initiative rolls. Holy crap, that would have been that is only the +1 victory point cost. So he is not a watchman. Okay, so anyway, in the end the guy missed. Just by 1, but he missed. Because he's too far away. And so now, again, these guys will be activated. And we start with him, and we can give him the extra strength because, yeah, if he hits, it will give him an extra. Will it do more damage? Actually, it might not even give him any advantage. I think the broadsword does. That's tricky. I'm not sure. Let me check that. Over here, this is. Let me see. So the broadsword gives a strength +1 advantage. So yeah, he wants to take that because then he does more damage. So let's see. Let's do the attack now. But he's got a -1 modifier again. Okay, so no problems here. And now the other guy attacks. And again, I was doing much better here. Awesome. However, he is a dirty fighter. Wasn't there something with doubles or something? No, I think this is not the case here. If he rolls doubles. Okay, so yeah, this shit goes on. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the spell War Dance. Oh, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm gonna use a fortune point. Okay, so at least I can do a War Dance now, and so that means now that my guys get a +1 for their melee abilities and basically their combat abilities in general. So now we attack again this guy here. Okay, this is probably again not good enough. So I got a 5, 6, -1, so I got a 5. That's a 10. And this guy has a 7 +3, so he's also a 10. So my agility is 3, his is 3, so that means he wins. Now I might actually consider starting Burning Fortune. As I said, at that point it really doesn't matter anymore. So I'm really considering doing that and then simply running out of here. But even that is a tricky action to do. You know, I'm not going to do that. I just accept the result the way it is. And yeah, so nothing here. The dark player starts again his turn, and that is all pretty much a mess. It looks like this is pretty much a standoff, and in the end I hopefully will be able to kill a couple of these guys, but it's really not looking good. I think I have to load this up right now. And this was a weird fight. Extremely long and not very enjoyable, to be honest. Yeah, I think I was quite unlucky. I mean, in a way, it kind of makes sense. You know, you're defending this door, and there is this battle going on, but it's long and a little tedious. I think it's especially bad on camera, because if you do it on your own, you can be much faster. But here you got to try to be very careful that you don't make any mistakes, and so it's a little bit ugly. And I have no more room on my memory card, so at that point I gotta load this up, and yeah. Hope to see you on the next video. Maybe it's a little more enjoyable, probably not, because basically all that's going to happen is we're going to try to kill these two guys and then leave the dungeon, because it's simply too hard for us. We got to go back, we got to recover, and I don't think I want to try that mission again. I think I'm going to simply take the way that happens when you fail the mission. But okay, guess that's what we have to do now. So, okay. Hope to see you in the next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.